And we're going to start the show off with the spouse of ABC7 sportscaster Jim Rose, Lakesha Rose. She's something else in that kitchen. Take a look.
Thank you so much for welcoming me. Thank you.
Beauty, brains, and you cook too. No wonder, Jim Rose, you are a smart man.
Now you know why I've been happy and smiling the last 7 years.
So now this is Jim's favorite pot roast.
He's a beef eater, so I try to change things around and slip some fish in there every once in a while and make sure he eats his vegetables. So, but this is something that I'll do like on the weekends, and then I'll freeze it, and then I'll put it over noodles. So I'll change it up, but I'll make more than enough so we can have something like this that takes about 4 hours during the week when I have a half an hour.
So good for busy moms, too.
Yes,
absolutely. It's great for busy moms. I love bringing out the crock pot in the winter. I think it's the best invention.
I do, too.
Yeah.
And you have a secret to this because it has something to do with the way you prepare the meat.
Yes, yes. What I do, how I start this recipe, I sear the meat, put a little bit of flour on each side, and what you want to do, it captures the flavor. And one more tip is if you have about an hour or two, salt and pepper your meat. It sort of quickly dry ages it a little bit.
Before the flour or after the flour?
Before the flour.
Okay.
Because what the salt is doing, it's really intensifying the fibers of the meat. And it's sort of like your own way of at-home dry aging.
Okay.
Yes, it's fantastic.
Cool.
So you see here, I have this dry age, but before I do that, I have my onions, carrots, celery, and leeks, and I have what you call a bouquet garni, which is fresh rosemary and thyme. I take this whole thing, and I just dump it all in here.
You put the vegetables in before the meat? Because typically when I do pot roast, I do the vegetables last so they're not too soggy.
Well, I love putting the meat on top of that because what it's going to do is the juices that you have in here will just absorb it. But at the end, I take about a couple of cups of that because when you're done with this, it's still a little bit chunky. So I take about 2 or 3 cups, put it through a blender, and it sort of smooths out the whole dish. So as you see here, it's not just your roast beef all out of chunks and vegetables.
I'm not going to wait, Lakesha. You keep on talking, but I'm going to do. Jim, come on
now.
So
we put the vegetables in, and then we put the meat in whole?
Not yet. We got the meat in, and then we have 2 cups of red wine. This is from Bordeaux, which I love. We're actually visiting this region this summer. I can't wait to actually go visit the vineyards of Bordeaux. Then the secret, everybody, is 2 tablespoons of cognac.
Yes.
2 tablespoons.
This is the trick.
Yes. It's the best. We got cognac one year as a gift, and we don't drink it, so I decided to cook with it. So I've been cooking with it in here, put it in sweet potatoes. It is fantastic. It really adds a deepening of flavor. And then I'll do about 1 cup of chicken broth.
Now, Lakesha,
and you can just get that from the can, right?
No, he doesn't, but that's okay because he does some other things wonderful.
That's what I do. My job is to watch.
He doesn't have to cook a day in his life if he doesn't have to. No, he does too many other things that I love.
You got a good one.
He's so fantastic. And then
I've been telling you all.
Then I'll take about 28 ounces of whole peeled tomatoes, and the reason why, because when you're going to let it cook for about 3 or 4 hours, it's going to break apart anyway. Just leave it. And then the last is put about a tablespoon of bouillon base.
Okay.
I'm sorry, not bouillon base. It's bouillon cube.
Okay.
Now, have you done something to that cube? Melted it down? Or?
No, you can buy it in this way. You can buy it in this form. And I would recommend buying it in this form because it's really concentrated. All right, so now all that's done. You want to stir that in there. Make sure you salt it with salt and pepper. That's going to be very important.
And then you just put this on top?
Put the meat right on top of that.
I'm going to do this for you. And you don't only just cook. You also have a wonderful job.
I do. I've been an interior designer for the past 11 years, but the cooking and entertaining has been just something that I've done all of my life. So I've kind of put it together to make more of a lifestyle because you can't have one without the other. It's like the perfect triangle. If you're cooking and entertaining, you're not going to come over and your bed's going to be unmade or your house is going to be messy.
Exactly.
So it's a I call it the perfect triangle because you really can't have one without the other. Now, this wonderful juice here, we're not going to leave that. We got to add that in there. So you put the top on here, let this cook about 3 or 4 hours. The key is, you know how when they say let this cook for about 8 to 10 hours, don't ignore it.
Okay.
Ignore it
That's
because
too long.
you might as well eat your shoe with the gravy because it's going to be so hard. So after about 3 hours, when you have about 4 pounds in here, check it. 9 times out of 10, it's probably done.
Right.
So you want to check it, and then after that's done, we got the finished product over here.
It's beautiful. And now you serve this with a great side.
I serve it with a great side. Let's show that tip. right here. Now, another tip for your mashed potatoes. Don't boil them in water. Steam them.
Oh.
Put a little bit of water at the bottom.
Now, why is that?
Because what you want, because potatoes absorb water, and you don't want them to absorb the water. You want them to absorb the milk and the butter and the salt and pepper that you have. My other tip that I
can get a nice facial too.
is fantastic. And the other secret is this contraption here is a French food mill. You know how you have the mashed potatoes at restaurants and they're so velvety and creamy?
Yeah.
This is why.
This is a great investment.
This is a great investment, and you can get them anywhere between $50 and $150, so they're great for all budgets. So watch. I'm going to put this in there. Now, you're going to see this has the skin on it. The reason why I'm using the skin is because it's a Yukon Gold potato.
Okay.
It's thin.
Do you want me to spin it here?
Yes.
Okay.
Jim, do you remember your first meal Lakeisha made?
There you
Yes,
go.
I do.
You do?
Get into
Oh,
it.
yes,
There
it
we
was
go.
a
There
chicken
we
breast
go.
with
All right,
smothered with gravy, and I had dinner rolls and also mashed potatoes, and of
that?
course the vegetable was spinach because I like spinach. But it was spectacular.
And then you add your milk, your butter, and look at that. It's just going to be very
it's so
aerating
smooth,
and
so
velvety. It's really fantastic. Ask for this for Christmas. This is the best find for pureeing sweet potatoes, any sort of root vegetable.
Turnips, cauliflower.
Oh, really?
Anything, yes.
I
If you
want one of those.
This
Ryan!
Ryan!
Yes, dear,
That's
I have one right over here. Hold on a
One of
minute.
your wedding presents. Yes.
Hey, I got you something, Val. Here we go. I bought you something.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
And that was delicious.
I want a bite over here. That's why I came over
Okay.
the grill.
All right, I'm
Okay, now that this is done,
Ryan,
two
go
more
for the
things
meat
you
there.
want to do.
There you go.
When you have your roast beef,
yeah.
it's not thick yet. So what
Okay.
you want to do is take about 2 tablespoons
Ryan,
of butter,
you
2
understand
tablespoons of
how
flour.
I've
I didn't say this was low fat. I said this is good.
Well, in moderation,
In
right?
moderation, yeah. So you're going to add that, stir that in because you want to thicken the sauce.
Okay.
Take out another 2 cups of that, put it in a blender, put it back, and you see how there's this smooth consistency there.
Yes.
That's what you have, and you have
the-
this beautiful dish.
And how did the meat break down? Did you?
The meat will break down itself. Yeah,
Got it.
You should not have to be. You should be able to break it apart with a spoon.
Well,
That's
I
how
can't wait
tender
to
it should
taste
be.
this.
Be careful, might be hot. You don't burn your
Thank
lips.
you, Lakeisha.
You're
This
welcome.
is delicious.
You're welcome.
Wow, the recipe for all of Lakeisha's dishes are on our website.
Good.
Thank you so much. We'll be right back. Thank you.
Thank you.